Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Jasmine Rajak with Tuesday's news. In this edition, New Zealand Prime Minister commences visit, alcohol industry told to step up campaign, and professional boxing to host second leg. Papua New Guinea is an ambitious nation with the potential to be great. New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon made these remarks when addressing the National Parliament this morning. Prime Minister Luxon also challenged PNG parliamentarians that they were entrusted by the people to lead for the betterment of the nation.
New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon has described PNG as a nation rich not only in natural beauty and resources, but in the resilience, creativity, and spirit of the people. When addressing Parliament today, Luxon told leaders that they are elected and entrusted with the ambitions, the aspirations, and the dreams of the people for a bright future.
But your country is not only ambitious, it is courageous. Papua New Guinea is not for the faint-hearted. Your mountains are precipitous, your coastlines are wild, your cultures and languages legendarily diverse. Yet you are charting your own course, embracing democracy, celebrating diversity, and pursuing development and peace in a uniquely human and Papua New Guinean way. Honourable members, your courage means Papua New Guinea has never shied away from acknowledging the development challenges you face or questioning choices made or paths taken. These are good questions that any country should ask. Neither of our nations should settle for the status quo or cease to strive for a better future for our people.
Prime Minister Luxon further stated that 50 years ago, New Zealand's then Minister of Maori Affairs, Matthew Rata, travelled to Papua New Guinea to represent the New Zealand government at the independence ceremonies in Port Moresby. Rata carried with him a message from Prime Minister Rowling conveying best wishes and a solemn promise that Papua New Guinea can count at all times on the affection, support and good wishes of New Zealand. Even in 1975, Luxon said it was clear that a prosperous and peaceful Papua New Guinea mattered to New Zealand.
There are several reasons why. Your country is blessed with tremendous mineral wealth, vast agricultural potential, and a youthful, dynamic population. Your economic trajectory holds enormous promise for your own people, for our Pacific region, and for New Zealand. Our businesses are already working together with Kiwi firms actively enabling your agricultural development, enhancing the efficiency of your resources sector, and delivering some of your most celebrated and important landmarks, including Gordon's Market, the Kumul Flyover, bridge to Jackson's Airport, and this very Parliament.
Mr. Luxon says PNG's strategic position, connecting the Pacific to Asia, puts the country at the heart of the Indo-Pacific, playing a critical role for trade routes and presenting opportunities to renew and deepen ancient ties, whether it be through your successful hosting of APEC in 2018 or convening powerful major engagements that connect the Pacific to the wider world. But he said that same geographic position also means that in times of turbulence, including both world wars and at no small cost, Papua New Guinea has acted as a barrier between conflict in the world and the rest of the region.
Your country, as you have pointed out, Prime Minister, is both a buffer and a bridge between Asia and the Pacific. It therefore almost goes without saying, honourable members, that Papua New Guinea matters to New Zealand and it matters to the Pacific. And the government that I lead is committed to strengthening our friendship and our partnership and our joint endeavours with you.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister James Marape has extended a word of acknowledgement and appreciation to the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Christopher Luxon, during his address in Parliament this morning. Marape said New Zealand has always been supportive of PNG in all sectors.
will be etched into our...
Prime Minister James Marape expressed his appreciation for New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon's address to the Papua New Guinea's parliament this morning. In his response, Marape highlighted New Zealand's consistent support for Papua New Guinea across various sectors. He emphasized the historical friendship between the two nations, acknowledging the importance of continued collaboration to strengthen bilateral ties and enhance mutual benefits in areas such as trade and others. Marape further stated that New Zealand rallied behind PNG during one of its darkest moments during the Bougainville crisis.
New Zealand is not just a Pacific neighbor across the Pacific. You are a true partner, a friend of integrity who stood with us when our nation was born in 1975. You have walked with us every step of the way, and the 5 decades of independence we've had as a country, you have been a strong, reliable partner.
The Prime Minister also emphasized the strong and ongoing partnership between the two countries and thanked New Zealand for its continued support to PNG.
Our principal partnership is the foundation upon which we are ready to build our next chapter. Prime Minister Luxon, your visit comes at a pivotal point, not just in our nation's history, but in our two nations' bilateral relationship and our history. A moment where we both take reflection, but also make resolutions as to how we progress from here on.
Leader of Opposition Douglas Tomuriesa also joined Prime Minister Marape and thanked New Zealand for the relationship they have and forged.
We can learn from your strong, vibrant democracy to strengthen ours and continue to govern our people with that strength, vibrancy, and resilience in our democracy.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Prime Minister of New Zealand Christopher Luxon arrived in Port Moresby yesterday at 6:30 p.m. at Jackson's International Airport, APEC Terminal, to begin his 3-day visit to Papua New Guinea. He arrived on a Royal New Zealand Air Force plane and was received by Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso, Foreign Affairs Minister Justin Kuchenko, NCD Governor Powes Pakop, PNG Defence Force Commander Commodore Philip Polewara, and other dignitaries. After being accorded a 19-gun salute and Guard of Honor parade by the PNG Defence Force, Prime Minister Luxon was taken to APEC House for a welcome dinner hosted by Prime Minister James Marape. The Royal Police Constabulary Band was present to provide the music for the arrival at the APEC House, while a choir group from Wabukuri village provided entertainment. The presence of the leader of the opposition, Douglas Tomuriesa, and wife Rachel was acknowledged by PM Marape as a mark of respect from both sides of the House to welcome the PM of New Zealand.
This is an important milestone year for Papua New Guinea. New Zealand has been an important foundational friend. You've walked with us every step of the way since 1975. In our up moments and in our down moments, New Zealand has been part of the good family of bilateral partners we've had in as far as Papua New Guinea is concerned. Every step of the way, no friend has abandoned us, and New Zealand has been amongst the closest of the close friends we've had.
Prime Minister Luxon acknowledged the hospitality of Prime Minister Marape and said this is the second time in 2025 he came to PNG, this time being the official visit as the 42nd Prime Minister of New Zealand.
While time to honour the 50th year of your independence in 43 days' time, also marks 50 years of diplomatic relations between our two great Pacific states.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News. Counting for the Usino-Bundi by-election scheduled to commence today has been deferred indefinitely due to a delay in payment to polling officials. Polling officers have requested the Electoral Commission and the returning officer, Terence Bayo, to facilitate their outstanding payments before counting can proceed. Mr. Bayo is now coordinating with the Provincial Election Steering Committee to have payments processed at the earliest so counting can commence tomorrow. He said it takes time for these processes to be completed, and the team is working tirelessly to ensure this is done to get the counting progress. The alcohol industry, comprising manufacturers, distributors, and licensed vendors, has been urged to support a responsible drinking campaign. The Minister for Police said this can help reduce the influx of alcohol-related deaths in the city.
Siamalili said over the past weekend alone, between the 46th, 45th and 44th days to independence, 10 people tragically lost their lives in alcohol-related incidents, mostly from vehicle accidents. This sharp rise in avoidable deaths has triggered an immediate response from the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. The minister, who is also the acting Minister for Information, Communication and Technology, called on all alcohol manufacturers, distributors and licensed vendors to be part of the solution in reducing violence and deaths. Minister Siamalili Jr. said those involved in the liquor business must step up and promote responsible drinking. Some of these businesses are already active in supporting awareness campaigns, and this is appreciated, but others have to step up. He said the alcohol industry is expected to fund and support campaigns, display responsible drinking warnings on products and advertisements, and engage in real community awareness. Siamalili Jr. said the upcoming 50th independence anniversary should be a time of pride, unity and reflection, not mourning and funerals. He said the safety of our people is non-negotiable, and those drinking and driving when caught will be punished. Siamalili Jr. urged Papua New Guineans to celebrate independence with integrity and responsibility, ensuring that the next 44 days set a national example of unity, not tragedy. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. We'll be right back after the break.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Tooks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans, expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend, PNG's own coffee.
We've been traveling along this road together for over 50 years. Ella Motors acknowledges the visionaries and hard work that have been the driving strength to continued nation building. We live, prosper, sustainably grow with the community, whilst developing quality mobility chains, aspiring to be your first choice on every occasion. Ella Motors, celebrating with Papua New Guinea throughout our independence golden jubilee.
Pepsi bottle. Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but met it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi bottle. Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi, you like it? Pepsi bottle.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. One Talk Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Cold Power Lemon is tough on stains and gentle on clothes. Cold Power Lemon has a great lemon fragrance which brightens your clothes and gives that extra freshness that lasts all day long. Cold Power Lemon, tough on stains, gentle on clothes with extra freshness.
Thanks for staying with us. The Island Mobile Hire Cars Group recently celebrated the official opening of its new office building in Port Moresby. This event marked a significant expansion and milestone for the company in its continued growth within Papua New Guinea. The company is locally owned, operating nationally with a large fleet and staff committed to quality service.
The ceremony was marked by a ribbon-cutting event led by David Ryan, Managing Director of Island Mobile Hire Cars Group of Companies, alongside NCD Governor Paul Sparkop. This milestone not only signifies growth for the company, but also contributes to the local economy, enhancing the business landscape in Port Moresby. The new office is expected to improve operational efficiency and provide better services to the community. NCD Governor Paul Sparkop, when giving a speech, urged all that attended the event to learn from the achievement of Island Mobile Hire Car Group of Companies and contribute to the development of the country.
We've got greater challenge to do. Our population is growing. We must create opportunity for our children. We must harness the IT world or the artificial intelligence world. We must give hope to our people. We must give hope to the next generation. We must reset our country. And it needs people like David who are very determined, very passionate. They continue to be resilient despite all the challenges and impediments that are in his way.
Managing Director David Ryan supported the sentiments shared by Pakop and added that hard work and commitment must at all times maintain to be a successful businessman or woman.
We have seen 4-lane that connects the whole Port Moresby, the ring road that went all around under your governorship. We have seen all the roads have been improved. I have been in Port Moresby before you become the governor, and I have known the road conditions. And it has transformed in a very, very big way, and we are so fortunate to have a leader like yourself, Paul Sparkop, a visionary leader, a leader who is serious about development, a leader who is serious about transforming our capital city. And
Member for Mulbaya Jacob Maki, who also attended the event, thanked Ryan for contributing to the development of the nation by providing job opportunities to more than 500 local people around the country.
Do better things for a country. Not ask for a country to do it for you. You do it for a country. This is your country. You sacrifice. You grow the country. Grow the people. Sweat yourself. And create employment for the people of this country. And then you are real servants. You are real servants of this country.
Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
PNG gained independence 50 years ago, but for many communities around the country, basic services like roads and bridges are non-existent. The people of remote Aya local level government in the Kagwa-Erave district, Southern Highlands, are one group who have been carrying cargo on their backs for more than 50 years. trekking the treacherous terrains to access basic services. Last week, they celebrated the arrival of roadworks machinery that has cut through the jungle and reached the isolated community.
On the eve of the nation's 50th independence anniversary, the people of Imane witnessed the arrival of the first machinery cutting through the jungles to finally reach them. The sight of this machinery brought hope and a promise of connection to basic services such as healthcare, education and economic opportunities, services that have been non-existent for 50 years. 10 council wards with a total population of 20,000 people will directly benefit from this road. Rakuare 1 and 2, Imane 1 and 2, Sumi 1 and 2 and Roalemonda 1 and 2. Member for Kagua Arave Maino Pano, during a visit to the construction site in Imane village on Saturday, 26 July 2025, assured them that the road would be completed in phases depending on funding support from the government. He also made a call for the people to allow work to continue without disturbance. The Kagua Arave District Development Authority has already allocated 1 million kina to begin work on the 22-kilometer road. Pano presented an additional 300,000 kina to Wasu Construction to continue excavation while awaiting the remaining 3.2 million kina required to complete the 4.5 million kina road project. Managing Director of Wasu Construction, Solomon Bamu, described the project as something close to his heart.
1 million, and people can come as far as here. Maybe you ring is releasing 1 million, 2 million. If you're not going to give at the same time, but as soon as you buy the money, no one looks 0, 6 lakh. Council 8 lakh, council vote from here. I must have council of Sumi Toga, Philemon Toga, ATM Sumi. You mean you threaten Lagra, Rodicam Sovia? You mean you threaten the Lakamo, or I finish with Sugu? That's in the Korean Islam.
Bamu confirmed that the project is split into 3 sections, from Katolo to Yapi, then from Yapi to Owl River, and finally from Owl River to Yale. Once completed, the road will form part of the envisioned Suku Ring Road, a key transport link for the remote Aya LLG. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
The arrival of Paraveta or prophet singing in the coastal areas was brought by missionaries in the 1800s. However, the Metago Theological College is concerned that the singing of Paraveta songs in coastal areas, especially in Central Province, will be forgotten in the next 50 years if not practiced by the younger generation. Metago Theological College lecturer Reverend Guba Araki, in an interview with this newsroom, said it is concerning that the singing of Paraveta, mostly sung in the coastal areas, could be forgotten in the next 50 years. In celebrating the country's 50 years of independence, Reverend Araki said to reflect on spreading God's word in the country and the influence Paraveta had in the transition of traditional singing into gospel singing in the coastal areas. In the 1800s, the London Missionary Society brought the word of God as well as Paraveta singing, also known as prophet songs, evolved out of the mixture of traditional rhythms and harmonies, hymn-style music.
We know that prior to the coming of the missionaries, the traditional way of dancing was at our side was through Gaba, Kundu, and they had the hair dressings and they'll dance, and they were using traditional languages conveying messages and information, but that was outside perhaps of something to do with God. But then when the missionaries came, they recognized that people would sing as well, so they started introducing the Peroveta singing. And the Peroveta singing originated from the Pacific Islanders. They kind of left the traditional way of singing, the Gaba singing, and they had the headgears, and the style of dancing too changed from the grass cat and just dancing with the beats of the garamut to now singing and dancing, just a very gentle way of dancing, and that was to praise God in their singing. And eventually perhaps our native people also were good musicians, so they started capturing that kind of music, and they started composing songs in languages. And now eventually we have Motu and Peroveta has been sung. We have some Raratongas still being held those times until to this time. Because of the westernization, the music coming through the playing of guitars, Peroveta got shifted slightly in the earlier days into gospels. And from then until now, we have realized that the Peroveta singing is becoming weak, and the gospel singing is becoming stronger and stronger. And many times we see and we kind of feel that Peroveta should be strengthened. But because of the music westernization coming in, globalization with the music instruments, now our young people are playing music.
As much as the ancestors sang Peroveta, the singing style is fading with the use of the westernized way of singing, and the introduction of instruments is influencing churches, gatherings, and festivals. And now a look at the finance news. The Kina closed lower at $0.2411 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2336 US, $0.3584 Australian dollars, $0.1937 euro, and 33.97 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, copper closed higher, the rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. You're watching TV1 News. We'll be back with the day's stories from the region.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, na mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, P&G and Mia. Find P&G made.
Rohan, really messing with your game. Time to sweep him out of the room. Or maybe not.
Ding bang ding, ding ding bang, bam bam bang, ding bang ding, bam bam.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Long year 2024, 7 baby i-born one time HIV. HIV ikin go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama ikat HIV, long time long karing baby, na time baby isusu. Tasol yumi can help him bel mama, long lookout him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bell mama clinic, na kisim antenatal check. Time yumi panim sick HIV ariap, o time bell mama i-positive penis, early treatment ikin save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV ego long baby. This lutok sawe ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Tracking Lomax, set up beautiful.
Other side of the ground. Ball's on the deck. Roosters have got a try from a step. Now four, and this is good shape. What a pass! Try Humner. For the day, he flies.
Thanks for staying with us. Maternal health outcomes are now to be improved in Goroka, Eastern Highlands Province, after Wanyati Maternal Waiting Home in Goroka and Project Yumi signed a Memorandum of Understanding recently. Through this collaboration, Project Yumi will work closely with Wanyati to provide much-needed resources to assist pregnant women, particularly those from remote communities, in accessing safe and dignified care before, during, and after childbirth. Wanyati Maternal Waiting Home has been a vital refuge for expectant mothers traveling long distances to seek care by offering safe, culturally appropriate accommodation close to health facilities. The center helps reduce the risks associated with childbirth across the Highlands region. 21 senior justice officials in Bougainville have completed the region's first ever basic mediation skills training aimed at promoting peaceful conflict resolution through dialogue rather than court proceedings. Held from July the 21st to the 25th, the training introduced participants to alternative dispute resolution, a method praised for being faster, more affordable, and culturally grounded. It was facilitated by Deputy Chief Justice Ambeng Kandakasi and experts from PNG's judicial services. Participants included police personnel, magistrates, village courts representatives, correctional services, and the autonomous Bougainville government's Department of Justice and Legal Services. Turning overseas, this year's Gama Festival brought together two ancient cultures. Native American dancers traveled across the ocean to join festival goers in the red sand of Gumaj country in northeast Arnhem Land. President Donald Trump has threatened to hike tariffs on goods from India over its purchases of Russian oil, a key source of revenue for Moscow's war on Ukraine. New Delhi quickly pushed back, saying the move was unjustified and vowing to protect its interests. Mr. Trump's heightened pressure on India came after he signaled fresh sanctions on Moscow if it did not make progress by Friday towards a peace deal with Kiev, more than 3 years since Russia's invasion. Moscow is anticipating talks this week with the U.S. President's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, who is expected to meet President Vladimir Putin. On Monday, U.S. time, Mr. Trump said in a post on his Truth Social platform that India was buying massive amounts of Russian oil and selling it for big profits. Sexual violence support groups have hit out a Queensland laboratory, saying delays in DNA testing are pushing victims away from seeking justice. According to a new report, people are waiting well over a year for vital DNA evidence, which should take just 10 days.
A second report into the Forensic Sciences Queensland Laboratory has been handed down today, with more systemic failings uncovered. The new report has found a toxic workplace culture and systemic contamination in the laboratory. The news comes after yesterday Dr. Kirsty Wright handed down her findings into the laboratory. Dr. Wright found testing of evidence for serious crimes like murder, rape and sexual assault are taking 420 days. Now, that's not a worst case scenario, that is the average. In other states, those tests are typically turned around in 5 to 10 days. Now, Dr. Wright has found that when those samples do eventually get tested, there's evidence of systemic contamination and improper testing in the lab. Her review has made 26 recommendations, which she says outline a blueprint for change. The state government has promised an overhaul of laboratory testing and says they've assembled an expert team to get it underway.
A teenage girl is dead and another has been arrested after a stabbing west of Newcastle. The victim was found in a critical condition with stab wounds to her torso on Euston Close in Edgeworth and died later in hospital.
Police are still investigating as to how this situation unfolded here in a suburban street just west of Newcastle's CBD last night. It was around 10 p.m. when emergency service crews were called here to reports of a stabbing. They found a teenage girl in a critical condition with stab wounds to her torso. She was then taken to hospital, but she died a short time later. We've just been speaking with some residents in the street here this morning, some that have lived here for more than 20 years. They say it's usually a quiet street and they've never seen something like this unfold before.
Hardly seen them or spoke to them, so I didn't know what the situation was down there, and I had no idea that there was any children there because I never see any and I'm in the street. I think it's a very sad situation, especially people as young as that to be violent like that. I think it's a real shame.
A crime scene has been established here with another teenage girl being arrested, but charges are yet to be laid.
And that ends the news segment. Coming up in sports, Marianne Milley prepares for next professional fight. Stay with us.
Are you ready to meet the best version of yourself? The one with the bright, confident smile? You've got to take pride in how good you look, how fresh your breath smells, and how great you feel. To boss it at work, to be your best for uni, or to catch the eye of that special someone. You've got to brush up your vibe with whiter, healthier, brighter teeth. Brush up for confidence with Colgate.
Mr. Russell, may mas isimsig niya sa bumili.
You survey yourself, you can put in one per complaint.
I'm not giving big the heavy. Online ba ito to? Na, also yun ang suppose, may kata sorry kisineri.
You think him go through of Sam, you like putting this plus sexual harassment report on Mr. Russell.
Who said you making this black complaint?
Joining BCFW na all member blong ni plan na sanap strong against in workplace harassment.
He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bungim Yumi.
P&G's favorite soft drink now in bottles. Goldspot brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in P&G. Proudly Goldspot.
A
I'll spend my whole life like this, laughing and playing with you.
Oh, I love you, Yash. Thank you so much. You cannot do this to me.
Card partners for cheating on us.
Whether I want it or not, whether I accept it or not, but both our fates are linked to each other.
Sometimes over the years, New South Wales have been obsessed with size, and talent. 2001, series locked at 1-1. We need a halfback. Queenslanders need a halfback. Where do we go to? Make a phone call to Alan Langer. What's that? That is true. There's all the Queenslanders here.
Oh my God, what was that? Keep going. Oh, it's worms.
Thanks for staying with us. Promoter of Oceania Fight Promotion, Marianne Milley, is pleased with the professional fight held last month in Port Moresby and is preparing to host the next professional fight in September.
Young fight promoter Marianne Milley hosted a successful professional boxing fight last month where Goli Bali made her professional boxing debut and won against the opposition from Thailand in a comprehensive fashion. Milley said the event had some positive outcomes where the boxers who participated on the night delivered some intriguing boxing actions. The presence of Prime Minister James Marape, sponsors and the boxing fans made the event even better. With this event being hailed a success, the boxing promoter now sets her sights on the September event. She said 3 international professional boxers from Fiji, Australia and Thailand have been slotted in to participate in the tournament. The Thai and Fijian boxers have confirmed their participation except for the Australian boxer. She is still working on the arrangement of Australian boxer and she is firming that she can get the fighter over for the September event. Milley confirmed that PNG fighters are ready to participate in the boxing event. The names of the participating boxers and the venue of the tournament will be announced once everything is set, with 10 fighters expected to fight at the event. Rex Lita, TV1 Sports.
Chairman of the PNG Boxing Professional Boxing Control Board, Bernard Fong, has called PNG Boxing Union for collaboration to promote boxing in PNG. Fong made this statement following critics made by the PNG Boxing Union about the professional boxing event held in Port Moresby recently, organized by Oceania Flight Promotion. It claimed that the Professional Boxing Control Board has underperformed in recent professional tournaments but received good corporate sponsors. Fong refuted claims and called on the PNG Boxing Union and PNG Professional Boxing Control Board to work together to promote boxing.
All I can say is come up with the facts. We can all talk. We can all rubbish people. Come up with the facts. If someone is doing the right thing by the control board will support. Not just, we have one promoter. We welcome more promoters, but there's got to be a limit. If we put 5 or 6 promoters, are we promoting professional boxing because we have 5 or 6 promoters? No. There's not enough sponsors in the country. to support. And on top of that, we don't have enough fighters. We have plenty of amateur fighters. We don't have enough professional fighters.
In a roller coaster preliminary final of the Port Moresby men's softball, Power overcame defending champions Gazelle with a commanding 14-6 victory. Gazelle's performance was affected by a series of fielding errors that turned the tide of the game. With this win, Power will face minor premiers United Brothers in the big decider this Saturday at the Bissini Diamonds.
Gazelle elected to bat first after winning the toss and were quick off the block, putting 5 runs by the top of the 5th inning. The scoring began with a well-placed hit from slugger Demas Totil Jr., who crossed home plate to kick off their offensive display. Gazelle continued to capitalize on their strong batting order with contributions from Bernard Pamel, Nigel Lamy, Tony Francis, and Kepas Caminiel, establishing an early advantage. However, Power's veteran pitcher Demas Tovia proved to be a game-changer. His skill on the mound allowed Power to regain their footing, silencing Gazelle's batters and setting the stage for a remarkable comeback. Gazelle's defense capitulated with more fielding errors that allowed Power to seize momentum and turn the game in their favor, leaving Gazelle's runners stranded on the bases. With reviewed confidence, Power sluggers like Lawrence, Jerry Diala, Demas Tovia, and Michael Parom capitalized on the mistakes, generating additional runs. Power scored an amazing 10 runs in a single inning. In compliance with the run-ahead rule, the central umpire halted the contest in the 5th inning in favor of Power, with the final score 14-6. The victory propels Power into the final, where they will clash with the minor premiers United Brothers for the prestigious prize. The softball fraternity in the city is anticipating a thrilling conclusion to the softball season. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
A handful of players have already been signed and more are set to join as the NRL women's coaches hailed the standard of the Harvey Norman Rising Talent Invitational in Newcastle. The 3-day event, staged in the lead-up to the inaugural NRLW Magic Round, involved 60 players from Pathways programs around Australia, including combined affiliated states and First Nation gems, as well as Fiji and Papua New Guinea.
There were also cross-code athletes and players previously in the NRLW systems but who had dropped out due to injuries or other reasons, including childbirth, and are now seeking a second chance. NRL Pathways Program Manager Mike Castle said this is an opportunity to bring players from those pathways together and not only test them on the field, but also provide an opportunity for them to experience different people, different coaches, and different cultures. Jailarou's coach Jess Skinner, who is NRL Pathways Strategy Manager, and her coaching staff oversaw the event, while coaches from Fiji and Papua New Guinea, including the legendary Stanley Genna, were also involved. PNG Orchids coach Tani Norris was another helping to mentor the coaches. Among them were Sydney Roosters and New South Wales coach John Strains, his West Tigers counterpart Brett Kimoli, Newcastle Ben Jeffrey, and St George Illawarra female football manager Sam Bremner. New South Wales Under-19s coach Courtney Crawford, her Queensland counterpart Maya Tua Davidson, First Nations GEMS Indigenous Pathways coach Nicole Fleming, and Queensland Pathways mentor Emmy Borg were each assigned a team to prepare. The players were split into squads of 15, and coaches presented to them on the style of play they wanted before the teams were allocated 2 hours to train. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Panthers trainer Corey Bocking is facing a 5-game suspension after being handed a breach notice from the NRL, while the club could be fined $50,000. Late in the side's round 22 win over the Titans, the trainer ran directly in front of Jaden Campbell as he was lining up a sideline conversion, which the halfback ultimately missed in the Golden Point defeat at Sebas Super Stadium.
The act was labelled as disgraceful by Fox League commentator Andrew Voss, while others were highly critical of the blatant disregard from Bocking. The governing body has now intervened, releasing a statement on Monday afternoon. The bridge notice proposes a fine of $50,000 from the club, as well as 5-match suspension for the trainer involved. It is alleged that the trainer unnecessarily interfered with and distracted Gold Coast Titans player Jaden Campbell as he was attempting a conversion kick in breach of the NRL Operations Manual and NRL Code of Conduct. The proposed penalty takes into account previous breaches by Penrith Panthers trainers. The club will have 5 days to respond to the breach notice. Panthers have since responded to the breach notice and are adamant Blocking's actions were honest mistake, and he's apologized immediately after. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast. Regional forecast. Southern, Port Moresby mostly fine, partly cloudy. Daru, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Momase, Ley mostly fine, partly cloudy. Wewak mostly fine, partly cloudy. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau partly cloudy with possible few showers. Buka cloudy periods with possible few showers. Highlands, Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy periods with some showers and possible thunderstorm. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea, sea slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, sea slight with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. And Pacific Ocean, sea slight with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast, waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daro to Kiwai Island, to Kerama to Yule Island, to Port Moresby to Hood Point to Summer Islands. And waters of New Ireland to New Britain and Bougainville, seas 1 to 2 meters rising to 3 meters over warning areas. Waters of Finchefin through Vitias, Dampier Strait to Sea Island to Long Island, seas 1 to 2 meters rising to 3 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Summer Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, waters north of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf to Finchefin, sea 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that ends TV1 News. Thanks for watching. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
Johnston with some room to move. Alex Johnston, he kicks it again. This should be a try. Alex Johnston did.
It's an unstoppable rush. Taking that extra mile, pushing beyond the limit and making it happen. Fueling the passion for rugby and empowering the next generation. Feel the power.
Jackpot is rolling over week on week. 750,000 Kina. Get your tickets now. Draws every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Play now at 321lotto.com.pg or any of your 321 authorized retailer. 321. Win big every day.
Join Digicel and enjoy the network that rewards you with a whole lot more.
Activate a new Digicel prepaid SIM and get 2 gigs data plus 20 minutes free Digicel to Digicel talk for 3 months. Get your first month's reward instantly with no spend required. Spend 30 kina or more for your rewards in months 2 and 3. So what are you waiting for? Get your new SIM at any Digicel outlet or agent today and enjoy free talk and free data only with Digicel.